Aloha and welcome. Thank you for watching this game. The game played out in front of you is between Gregorio Idigoras and Oscar Panna. This game was played in 1955 at the Mar del Plata. It was played with an E63 King's Indian defense. Gregorio Idigoras plays white, and Oscar Panna plays black. Let's begin. Move 1, Gregorio. Pawn to D4. Oscar. Knight to F6. Move 2, Gregorio. Pawn to C4. Oscar. Pawn to G6. Move 3, Gregorio. Knight to F3. Oscar. Bishop to G7. Move 4, Gregorio. Pawn to G3. Oscar. Castle. Kingside. Move 5, Gregorio. Bishop to G2. Oscar. Pawn to D6. Move 6, Gregorio. Castles kingside. Oscar. Knight to C6. Move 7, Gregorio. Knight to C3. Oscar. Pawn to A6. Move 8, Gregorio. Pawn to H3. Oscar. Rook to B8. Move 9, Gregorio. Pawn to B3. Oscar. Pawn to B5. Move 10, Gregorio. Pawn to E3. Oscar. Knight to A5. Move 11, Gregorio. Pawn C takes B5. Oscar. Pawn A takes B5. Move 12, Gregorio. Bishop to B2. Oscar. Pawn to B4. Move 13, Gregorio. Knight to E2. Oscar. Bishop to A6. Move 14, Gregorio. Rook to E1. Oscar. Queen to D7. Move 15, Gregorio. Rook to C1. Oscar. Rook F to C8. Move 16, Gregorio. Knight to F4. Oscar. Pawn to c6. Move 17. Gregorio. Pawn to h4. Now that's a great move. Oscar. Queen to a7. Move 18. Gregorio. Rook to c2. Now that's a great move. Oscar. Knight to b7. Move 19. Gregorio. Pawn to h5. Oscar. Pawn to c5. Move 20. Gregorio. Pawn h takes g6. Oscar. Pawn h takes g6. Move 21. Gregorio. Bishop to h3. Oscar. Rook to f8. Move 22. Gregorio. Knight to g5. Now that's a great move. Oscar. Bishop to h6. Move 23. Gregorio. Knight takes g6. Now that is an excellent move. Oscar. Pawn f takes g6. Move 24. Gregorio. Bishop to e6. Check. Oscar. King to g7. Move 25. Gregorio. Pawn to f4. Oscar. Knight to d8. Move 26. Gregorio. Pawn to d5. Now that's a great move. Oscar. Bishop to c8. Move 27. Gregorio. Rook to h2. Oscar. Bishop takes e6. Move 28. Gregorio. Pawn d takes e6. Oscar. Queen to a6. Move 29. Gregorio. Queen to g4. Oscar. Rook to h8. Move 30. Gregorio. Knight to f3. Oscar. Queen to d3. Move 31. Gregorio. Pawn to e4. Now that's a great move. Oscar, pawn to c4. Move 32. Gregorio, pawn b takes c4. Oscar, queen takes c4. Move 33. Gregorio, pawn to f5. Oscar, pawn to g5. Move 34. Gregorio, queen to h5. Oscar, king to f8. Move 35. Gregorio, queen to g6. Oscar, bishop to g7. Move 36. Gregorio, rook takes h8. Check. Oscar, bishop takes h8. Move 37. Gregorio, knight takes g5. Oscar, bishop to g7. Move 38. Gregorio, knight to h7. Check. Oscar, king to g8. Move 39. Gregorio, bishop takes f6. Oscar, e takes f6. Move 40. Gregorio, knight takes f6. Check. Oscar, king to f8. Move 41. Gregorio, queen to e8. Checkmate. Oh, the beauty of sacrifice. This game was played by Gregorio Idigoras and Oscar Panna, 1955 for the Mar del Plata. This is played with an E63 King's Indian defense, and I want to thank you a million for watching. Go and watch the next one, and have a great day. Aloha.